I am Nini Enira binti Putra, together with Aimi Hariza binti Marzuki, Dayang Nur Aisyah binti Awang Ismadi, Liana Nazoha binti Muhammad Napi, and Nas Ana Zulaika binti Nasir will start presenting now. What is risk management? Risk management can be defined as a process of identifying, assessing, and controlling threats to an organization's resources and profits. The risk may arise due to financial uncertainties, legal liabilities, technology issues, strategic management errors, accidents, and natural disasters. An effective risk management programs aids a business in considering all of the risks it faces by examining the relationship between risks and identifying the impact they could have on an organization's strategic goals. This comprehensive approach to risk management is sometimes referred to as enterprise risk management or ERM. This is due to its focus on anticipating and understanding risk across an organization. Besides focusing on internal and external threats, ERM highlighted the importance of managing positive risk, as the positive risk could become an opportunity to increase the business value or conversely could harm the organization if not taken. Indeed, the goal of risk management is to protect and enhance corporate value by making wise risk decisions, not to eliminate all risks. There are four main risk management strategies or risk treatment options, which are risk acceptance, risk transference, risk avoidance, and risk reduction. Before we go any further on this topic, let me explain briefly the 5 essential steps of a risk management process. The first step is identifying the risk. The management needs to identify the risks that the business is exposed to in its operating environment. Legal risks, environmental risks, market risks, and regulatory risks are some types of risks that need to be considered by an organization. The next step of the risk management process is analyzing the risks. The risks need to be analyzed once it is identified. The number of business functions that the risk affects must be determined in order to assess the risk seriousness and severity. The third step is to evaluate the risk or risk assessment. The risks that we have analyzed need to be ranked and prioritized based on different categories depending on the risk severity. Risks that have the smallest impact on the organization will be ranked at the bottom, and the risks that result in the biggest impact will be ranked at the top to show their seriousness and need to be managed carefully. There are 2 types of risk assessment that can be carried out by the management, which are qualitative risk assessment and quantitative risk assessment. Another step of risk management process is risk treatment. Every risk needs to be measured carefully and reduced as much as possible. This can be done by communicating and discussing the matter with the experts in the field to which the risk belongs. Usually, an organization will set up meetings so everyone can discuss the issues and contribute solutions. The last step is to monitor results and adjust as necessary. As not all risks can be eliminated, such as market risk and environmental risk, this is why the risk needs to be monitored frequently. For example, the internal stakeholders need to keep themselves updated with current issues so that those risks can be quickly mitigated once they occur. So that's all from me, and I will pass this presentation to Aimi Hariza. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Aimi Hariza binti Marzuki. Let us go into why there is an issue for this topic. Implementing risk management as a technique for internal auditing is anticipated to yield positive results for the organization. Risk management is vital in internal audit as it helps auditors to sort audit projects according to their possible risk, analyze the kind, timeliness, and scope of internal audit procedures in relation to the risk level. In addition, to create a strategy for carrying out internal audit projects in high-risk areas to lower the company's chances of suffering a loss. However, risk management could also have drawbacks. According to Vinari and Scareback, risk management might actually increase unanticipated uncertainties that would not have arisen otherwise, as opposed to minimizing them. The application of business risk auditing has created uncertainties in areas such as audit timing and staffing, interpretation of business risk evidence, and the consequences of auditors' carries. There are 3 types of uncertainties. First, there are uncertainties for which a probability distribution is known, and second, there are uncertainties for which a probability distribution is not directly known, but one can statistically infer. The third group includes uncertainty whose distributions are wholly unknown and for which probabilities cannot be estimated. The field study that was done by Vinery and Skerbeck determined that uncertainties have emerged due to the professional identities and duties of operational managers, which are outlined by the framing devices. The uncertainties that were highlighted in the study were the uncertainties regarding the legal aspects of risk management solutions. In particular, the issue concerning the types of documents that are considered legally valid. Other than that, the uncertainties regarding the definition and operationalization of risk management. And lastly, uncertainties regarding the resources available for expanding risk management. Next, Ms. Liana Nazuha will continue with her explanations. Thank you.
Thank you, Aimi Hariza. Hello, Mr. Patrick. I am Liana Nazuha binti Muhammad Napi, and I will continue this presentation with the discussion on how risk management is related to the internal audit function. Risk management has been developed and assessed mainly through the internal audit function, said Vinery and Skerbeck in 2014, as they claim that majority of the risk management practices used nowadays were created by auditors. This statement has been approved by external experts that enhances the management of risk sustainability and the internal audit function, though it may be temporarily remove the tense situations, discussions, and differences of opinions among management and auditors over how the management of risk should be defined. Another approval is from the senior management of the main authority, which also, in the view of internal auditors, played significant part in the overall development of the risk management structure. They believe internal audit is one of the key role in helping them as senior management to give an unbiased opinion on the assessment of the suitability and efficacy of their risk management in order to achieve the organization's strategic and operational goals, although, according to Kabuye and other co-authors in 2019, a distinct risk management function has been established within organization. So, the internal audit function must be in line to risk management by focusing on regulatory, functional, business, strategic, technological, and also other risks. Next, according to Satyawa and co-authors in 2021, the Institute of Internal Auditors also believes responsibility of internal audit is one of the crucial factors in helping to connect with risk processes to meet the stakeholders' demands and generate more meaningful risk capabilities. Due to the strategies for risk mitigation in an organization usually use more traditional ways. Internal audit is supposed to be more proactive in assisting the management to achieve the company's goal by risk recognition and evaluation, engagement of individuals, procedures, and systems with business strategy, assessment, and estimation of factors associated with the risk. When the efficiency of the risk management increases, the independence of internal auditors will also improve by keeping tabs on the management team's activity, said Tabit in 2019. Internal auditors has received influence and power from the combination of internal control and risk management, but they should not manage the risk management systems by themselves, as it might jeopardize their independence, but only monitor the risk management. Thus, according to Vinery and Skerbeck, the internal auditors ought to play their supportive role in risk management due to the probability of causing overflow to the risk management systems. I think that's all from me. I'll pass this presentation to Nas Aina Zulaika. Thank you.
Next, I am Nas Zulaika binti Nasir and I will discuss on how internal auditors can solve this issue. The issues of unexpected uncertainty that may arise from the risk management processes can be handled by internal auditors by recognizing uncertainties and presenting them as risks by adhering to recognized categories of rules and recommendations based on, for example, by implying the Committee of Sponsoring Organizations (COSO). The COSO framework offers management recommendations on how to implement and assess internal control procedures that enhance governance procedures. The COSO framework establishes three distinct but overlapping categories of objectives. These allow organizations to concentrate on different aspects of internal control. First, operations objectives pertain to how effectively and efficiently the organization conducts its business. They include objectives for operational and financial performance as well as protecting assets from loss. Second, reporting objectives, which cover both internal and external financial and non-financial reporting, are concerned with the accuracy of reporting. Thirdly, compliance with rules and regulation that the company is required to follow is related to compliance objective. Moving on to the 5 key elements that make up the internal control system. The first key element is environmental control. Control environment is the set of standards, processes, and structures that provide the basis of carrying out internal control across the organization. The principles of established ethical standards, management philosophy, responsibility allocation, and the direction and leadership given by senior management on internal control make up the control environment. The second key element is risk assessment. Risk is described as the likelihood that a situation will arise and negatively impact the attainment of goals. Next is control activities. Control activities are the steps taken to guarantee the management directions to reduce risk to achieving objectives are carried out, as specified by the policies and the procedures. The fourth element is information and communication. This element is important especially to the decision-making driven organization to rely on obtaining information, while communication is the continuous iterative process of providing, sharing, and getting necessary information. The last element is monitoring. The constantly evolving nature of technology, which affects the possible existence of hazards, makes it important to monitor the internal control system. Monitoring should be both a part of the operating business and the supervisory activity carried out by the management on behalf of the board. In the case of managing risk of uncertainty, from the case discussed by Vinari and Skerbeck, the significance of COSO in national audit standards and the monitoring of the evaluation of risk management practices by local audit firms can be seen as a form of closed circle where proponents of risk management continuously purify method. It is observed that the uncertainty that is arising can certainly be recognized and solved. As a result, the ongoing discussion between internal auditors and their counterparts within organization is suppressed. This suggests that COSO can help make risk management a practice that is relatively stable. That's all from me, thank you. I will pass this presentation to the next presenter.
Thank you. I will continue with the internal auditor's role and contribution in examining or investigating the issue. Assurance service is one of the auditor's role that can be provided to management as long as it does not affect their objectivity in performing their duties. The term assurance service refers to the objective analysis of data for the goal of delivering an unbiased evaluation of the organization governance, risk management, and control system. Financial, performance, compliance, system security, and due diligence engagement are few examples. The primary requirement of the board is to ensure the risk can be managed effectively and can be controlled to an acceptable level. Usually, internal auditor will cover 3 areas, which are risk method for risk management, including how they are designed and how well they function, management of the risk identified as key, including monitoring the efficiency of the control and other mitigation measures, and risk assessment that is accurate and appropriate, as well as reporting on risk and control status. The next point is evaluating. Internal audit ensure proper control by comparing planned result to actual result. In order to get reliable result, competent and fair evaluation method must be applied. The evaluation helps to streamline the company's business processes. The audit team, on the other hand, probes a collection of records and asks questions, making the result questionable. The goal of an internal audit is to enhance the efficiency of the company's operation. A shift in the function of the internal audit has occurred from a focus on ensuring compliance to a focus helping the business develop. Moving to the last point, which is consulting service. When it comes to consulting service, it is essential to keep in mind that the internal auditor does not take on any of managerial obligation of the company. The manner in which this measure will be carried out will be discussed and agreed upon with the management. If senior management is dedicated to enterprise risk management, and internal auditing does not participate in the actual risk management process, then internal auditing may supply consultancy service in the case of ERM, which is the responsibility of management. Last but not least, referring to the issue of uncertainties, internal auditors can contribute to assist the management in the decision-making process. They only can monitor and give an appropriate suggestion on how to deal with the risk. The knowledge that the internal auditor has is more than others make them qualified and can be the best person to give advice on a company's risk management. In conclusion, today's dynamic worldwide climate makes risk management a top priority because it's essential to the long term survival of the company. Internal audit is also a strategic activity, particularly in the current post crisis environment. Internal audit varies widely amongst firms, from a typical assurance orientation to that of a value added orientation. To ensure that the risk management division continues to fulfill its function in an efficient manner, top management and the board of directors should continue to focus their attention on the area. That's all from us. Thank you.